Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lessons about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out, the podcast that maybe you found right when you were least expecting to. From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who've been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. And if you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. And here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This Week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. And the first thing we want to talk about is the L word. Generation Q is coming up. This is the week, and it is a big week for us. Tomorrow, December 3rd, we have tickets to the L word advanced screening in San Francisco with Frameline. We also are doing virtual L word trivia on December 5th, which is this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For anyone who can't make it to one of our live trivia events, we would love to see you there. You can get your tickets at bit.ly/virtual L word. And we're hosting a Generation Q premiere party at Bella Luna in Jamaica Plain in Boston. I'm super excited for that. And very, very excited to also announce another event we will be hosting in Boston, which is going to be Astrology Family Feud. Because what do queers love more than astrology? Steve Harvey and Family Feud? I think not. But either way, we love a good Family Feud. And we know all of you Capricorns are going to want to snatch up those tickets immediately. So if you want to do that, you can find that all on our website or our Facebook page. We're also hiring trivia hosts in other cities, so email us at leshangoutpod@gmail.com if you're interested. I just want to let you all know we will also be taking a break for the holidays. We hope you all have a wonderful break, but we will be releasing our final episode of December on December 16th, taking a few weeks off for Christmas and New Year's, and we will be back in full swing on January 13th. Cannot wait. Of course, as the holidays are coming, we want to let you know that we have some awesome gay holiday merch in our merch store. At bit.ly/lesshop, we have some wonderful sweaters that say homo for the holidays, some of my favorites, and plenty of other fun holiday designs. So we hope you'll check that out at bit.ly/lesshop. We will be having sales all through the holidays. And in the greater Les universe, I don't know about you all, but I'm a big fan of Wendy Williams and a new fan of Robin Crawford, who is Whitney Houston's rumored ex-lover. She's been out for a very long time, but in her new memoir, she came out saying that her and Whitney did have somewhat of a sexual relationship before Whitney was a star. But there are new rumors swirling around that Wendy Williams and Robin Crawford are together, which Wendy Williams said, "I am no lesbian." Unfortunately, they're not true, but we can dream. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee. We are so excited to bring you episode 7 of season 3, Surprise Love with Tello. With a whole bunch of people from Tello, so maybe we should, one at a time, we're going to introduce all of our guests. We will start with Christin Baker, who is the director of Season of Love, co-founder of Tello. We also have Danielle Jablonski, who is one of the producers of Season of Love. And last but certainly not least, we have Emily Goss, who plays Iris in Season of Love.
Perhaps least. I think that's okay.
I wouldn't say so at all. No one's the least here. There's just no least to be had. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Ellie, do you want to intro what Season of Love is that I just keep saying over and over again?
Yes, what is Season of Love? If you haven't been hiding under a rock, then you know what Season of Love is, and you better know what Season of Love is, because it is the holiday queer rom-com we've all been waiting for. A lighthearted rom-com featuring a large ensemble cast of diverse women in their connected love lives during the hectic holiday period just before Christmas through the New Year, who discover love truly is the best gift of all.
Wow.
What a synopsis.
There you have it. Beautifully written synopsis. Who put that together?
I think it was Dan.
Thumbs up.
Did you do
No, I
that,
think it was
Dan?
you, Kristen.
I don't think it was me.
Don't be so modest.
Somebody wrote it and it's excellent. It's a queer holiday rom-com. Is it possibly the first queer holiday rom-com ever in the history of the world?
Yes.
As long as you put the word rom-com in there.
It's an important word.
I think so.
What's our other queer holiday movie? Carol? It's just not the same.
Yes. Well, some people have tossed Les Bomb, which was a Thanksgiving.
Okay, sure.
Again, I have very vehemently pointed out that is not a rom-com. That is a family comedy.
Okay, fair enough. The
Correct.
first queer holiday rom-com. You heard it here definitively.
So, Kristen, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Season of Love came to be? There was a long journey to get here.
Yeah, the reason we are all here talking about this is really because of one of our producers, Ashley Arnold. Danielle and Ashley and I can't remember what airport we were at, Danielle, but we were at an airport finding this like little space in an airport. We were like, okay. And Ashley was like, we're doing the first lesbian holiday Hallmark movie. That's the first movie we're doing. And we're going to do a contest. And we sat in an airport like area and like literally mapped out the call, like how we were going to do like the dates. Like we sat there on a Google Drive and we went backwards and we were like, well, if it's going to come out in 2019, then this is what we need to do, and worked our way backwards. And our call for entries was actually today in 2018, our first call for entries for the contest was today. And so,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
yeah. And so Ashley was like, really like, we're doing a holiday movie.
Why was that this has to happen? What was the importance of getting a queer Hallmark movie?
Yeah. Dan, you want to say why she was so passionate?
Well, I think part of it at the time, like it was last November and we were coming up to the holiday season again and seeing that there were another 40 or 60 rom-coms coming out for the holidays, and again, not a single one with a queer character, let alone a queer lead character. And Ashley does love holiday rom-coms, and she's like, why don't we have our own? Let's just make it happen. So we did.
Love it. And Emily, how did you get involved with Season of Love?
It's such a funny, wonderful serendipity. Speaking of holiday rom-coms, but I made a very good friend doing LA theater who happens to be a sometimes producing partner with Christin. And so this brilliant woman, Kitty Swink, invited me over to her house to read a draft of a script and just read it out loud for the director and writer and the potential producers. And those people, as you might guess, were Christin and Danielle and Ashley. And this script was a totally different story. It was not Season of Love. But I got to know them at that reading. Then they emailed me to offer me the part of Iris in Season of Love, and it was just such a beautiful surprise and a gift to get that offer.
So you're saying we need like a holiday rom-com about how you got cast in this holiday rom-com?
Yes.
Okay. I'll start writing it now. I've got the notes. It's good.
Great.
It's perfect.
Great.
I also love that you have a friend named Kitty Swink.
Oh my gosh.
She's an amazing
what a
actress.
Beautifully amazing name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so I just went to Kitty Swink's house.
I'm keeping that in my script, okay?
Yeah. We were just doing some light jazz at Kitty Swink's. Like, I love it.
She doesn't disappoint. The name matches the woman.
That is true.
That is good to hear.
So you did this as a contest, right? I'm sure you got a ton of pitches for queer holiday rom-com ideas. What was the decision process for picking one? How did you decide, this is the story, this is the movie?
Well, we actually didn't just pick one because they were all so good and fantastically like holiday tropey that we picked 3. So
wow.
We have 2 more scripts out there in different phases of development.
2020, 2021.
Yep, exactly. 2022. Yeah, we're just going to keep them rolling.
As you should.
Yeah, I think, they're pitches. So we get a log line, we get characters, we get like what's going to happen. And, I think Danielle and Ashley and I just kind of went through all of them. And, like I had a list and they had a list. And then we sort of like put the lists on top of each other. And the ones that we ended up loving, like I think we all ended up loving the same ones. And again, just like couldn't narrow it down. And so it was almost, I think, and again, Danielle, you can help with this, but I feel like we were like, okay, you win, now write the script. And Cats came back like that. And it was like fantastic. Like it was just like, oh my gosh, like this is how fun and wonderful.
Yeah, it was exactly the story that we were hoping to get. It was perfect. So, and the other 2 stories as well, like we picked 3 because they're all so different and all such typical holiday rom-com stories that have never been told for queer women. So we want to do like a bunch of them.
Do them all, right? Do you feel like it's, the kind of feeling where when we've gone without for so long that then you see them and you're just like, I want to make them all.
Always.
Yeah.
I think people have been saying that this is like Love Actually for queer women, right? There's like an ensemble cast, there's a lot of different stories. So on that vein, like what are your favorite holiday or Christmas movies that you're like, oh, this would have been so good if it was all queer people?
All of them?
Great answer.
We watch like at least 10 every year, and every single one that's halfway decent is like, oh, I wish this were queer. So Love Actually is always a favorite. Like when we started this process, one of the things we said is we would love to make a queer Love Actually. So being able to do that, and that's the script that Kat wrote, and that we've been able to pull that together with such an incredible cast and team is super exciting.
What about the other 2? Emily, what's your favorite holiday movie?
I do love Love Actually. I love Serendipity. I also really love While You Were Sleeping. Have you guys seen that? Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Bill
I guess,
Pullman
is that a holiday? I guess that is a holiday movie.
Yeah, it kind of spans Christmas. And she celebrates Christmas with his family.
I love While You're Sleeping, but I never thought of it as a holiday movie.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of holiday movies to specifically watch holiday movies. So I like the ones that are kind of incidentally holiday movies.
Like Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
we need a gay Die Hard is what you're saying. I hear
Oh
you.
my god.
Totally on the list.
Oh my god. Start writing that.
Lee's gonna pitch it in the
Just-
next Tello pitch.
Just a lesbian in a tank top,
Oh my
Yes!
god. It's so cool. They got divorced, messy lesbian divorce.
Okay, yes. How many pitches can I send you, Christin? I'm keeping track right now, okay? This is
Many
great.
as
I'll
you
get them
want.
all. Christin, we didn't hear your answer yet. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Love Actually. I mean, I love Elf and A Christmas Story. They're not rom-coms,
Yeah,
but those
there's
are
a
my,
classic.
I really love those.
So we'll make them gay. We can do it.
Absolutely.
Gay elves.
If you
that's
haven't
also
heard
great.
our Should Have Been Gay series, we can make anything gay if you just give us half a chance, you know? What about you, Ellie? What's your favorite holiday movie?
Oh, I have a very big soft spot for White Christmas. I watch it every year. Me and my sister know the entire routine to Sisters, and we'll do it at holiday parties. I'm like, we did it when we were younger, but like also we probably have done it in the past like 2 years. So I
Nice.
can't even say like, oh, that was something we did when we were kids. Yeah. I love a good Christmas musical. So White Christmas is a big one
Yes,
for me.
any of them musicals coming up, please, yes.
Oh, yes, please.
God, I would love to do a
There's a
musical.
Tello Christmas musical.
There's not. Well,
I'm just saying, Ellie and I write original music, and we're here.
We have some music-heavy movies, but not musicals. Yeah.
Oh, we could make it happen.
Yes.
Don't you worry. We're gonna be your 2-woman Christmas movie team.
Machine.
Gay Die Hard the musical. This is what's coming your way soon. You just wait.
Honestly, sold.
Buy hard. You guys, buy hard.
Yes,
Buy hard. Yes.
I say we just end the episode there. We're done. We're not gonna top that. We're done right there. It's beautiful.
Oh my God, buy hard. That Kickstarter would fund in like 2 days.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
true.
Like, it would be insane. Yeah. See, because I think what we should do is it should actually be the continuation of Season of Love, where it's just Iris's story continues at her office holiday party.
That means you would have to
It'll be
break
great.
Mardu and Iris up if she's the one who's coming in. Although Laura in a white tank tops doesn't sound horrible.
It doesn't sound terrible.
It
I agree.
doesn't. Yeah.
Well, we'll add that into the draft. But yeah, I say we can do it without the divorce.
Right.
That's true. You can do
Maybe
it
they're
without
just
the
going
divorce.
through a rough patch.
They're in therapy. Much more gay.
Oh, yeah, that's accurate.
What about other holiday traditions? Do any of you have other holiday traditions you love with your family, chosen or otherwise?
We've been making ceviche every Christmas. That's kind of our Christmas unwrapping presents tradition. Is there's a huge bowl of ceviche, more ceviche than you've ever seen in your life. Definitely, like, it's all about the food for the holidays, but it's not like traditional Christmas food. It'll be like coconut red curry, fiery sweet potatoes, or whatever my mom has come across that year. So it's always
Wow,
that's
I'm
always
coming
fun.
to your place for
Oh my
for
gosh, you're
Christmas.
so welcome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What about Danielle? What do you do for the holidays?
Holidays are usually really quiet for us. It's like the one time of the year where we're not doing much, which is really nice. So my family's all in Australia, so it tends to be pretty just small, chill Christmas, which I like.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with chill sometimes. Especially in, like, the holidays are so hectic, you know? You hit Thanksgiving, and then everyone realizes, like, oh my God, I have not that much time to do all of my shopping. And so then everyone just, like, panics and goes crazy, and everything's like a nightmare for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then, you know, it's nice to just do a little quiet after that.
And watch a lot of holiday rom-coms.
Yeah, just sit around watching as many queer holiday rom-coms as you can, and then you're done in a few hours. God damn it.
There you go. Yeah.
My holidays are very hectic. I have a huge family, and they all come to our house for Christmas. And we actually do this thing that I love that, like, evolved out of, it's like a white elephant. You know, everyone brings something, and you put numbers on them, and you pick them out, and then you can steal them from each other. What's that called?
Yeah, white elephant.
Okay, yes. So we do that, except it used to be everyone brings something, but nobody brought anything. And so my mom just takes all the useless things in our house and wraps them, and it becomes like a complete joke. People are like, what is she going to put in the white elephant this time? And so there's just like 30 things that are just like, I don't know, like a workout DVD from like 1993. And then like, that's probably a VHS, but just so many random things. And then every year we always have a bidet. It's like the one thing that we recycle.
Wait,
That's
how
amazing.
how do you wrap a bidet?
Or is it like a tushy?
So it's like in its original packaging. It is called a bio bidet. It has been in the grab for probably 14 years, and it's always the biggest gift. So we always die because like anyone who comes who's new, they're like, oh, let me get the biggest gift. And we're always like, you got the bidet. It's the weirdest and most great holiday tradition ever. So
Gosh.
I'm really looking forward to that this year and seeing who's gonna pick up that bidet. Yeah, one year somebody tried to take it home and my mom was like, "You can't take it." We're using it next year.
Won it.
I know they won
fair
it,
and
but
square.
we're like, no, we have to use it again next year. They were like, "I want a bidet." I'm like, no, it's not about that.
I think if you let someone new win the bidet, you just have to buy a new bidet.
Yeah, that would seem like the normal response, but
That's not how you roll.
no,
That's okay.
no.
Any holiday traditions, Kristen?
Yes, I also have a very large family, and I have a 93-year-old granny who is still just kicking it and making meals and things like that. So we all go to my mom's side of the family's house, and I have some cousins and aunts and uncles, and so we do Christmas there, and then we have a huge fantasy football family league. So we have our fantasy football awards party right around the holiday season. So I have to usually help my mom, who is the sort of main person around fantasy football, decorate and coordinate things and help with that.
Okay, as someone who knows literally nothing about fantasy football, what awards do you win?
Oh,
Are these like voter people's choice?
These are very exciting awards. So you have the person who won the whole thing, and that is a
Okay.
traveling trophy, and it's an actual real life sized football mounted on a very large wooden plate that has the engravings of each person who won each year. So it's like a little similar to like the Stanley Cup, and so it travels
Wow.
from house to house.
Do you
Also like the bidet.
almost like the
Yeah.
bidet. Except
We
they
should
get
start
to keep
writing
the
names on the
football.
bidet.
You do not.
Yes.
Yeah, you should write the
well,
names
that
on the
makes
bidet.
my next question even better because I was going to ask if you take do you take the photo of like everyone kissing the trophy every year? So like you got to now photograph everyone kissing the bidet,
Well,
Ellie.
we have the handoff. We have each photo of the loser from last year, like handing off the trophy to the next person whose house it's going to stay at for the next year. And then,
That's incredible.
so since we're all family, we have houses. So at least two people are in the same house. So like I'm in a house with my mom, and then like my sister and her husband are in a house. So spouses are together. And then you have the house awards. The house awards are this like rad, huge faux ring. It looks like a championship ring, which is what I really want each year because you get to keep those. So we have 2 house rings. If I had them, I would totally be wearing them right now. I wear them every year at Christmas to remind people that we've won twice. You also have highest points. So if you might not win, but you might have had the highest weekly points and you get a trophy for that. You get best name. So we all vote on who has there's 22 people in the league, just to kind of give you an idea of the size. Only 5 people really give a crap about this whole thing. Everyone else just sort of like picks a team and then they want, and then my mom orders a shirt every year that has like the name of our league and then everyone's name on the back. So like each year we have a new shirt. I'm trying to think if there's there's the toilet award. So if you get last place, you also get an award.
Is it a bidet?
It should be now. It's actually a trophy that that you can put a toilet roll on.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And you get to keep that one. So we actually have like trophies around the house. Like my mom's won more than I have. So we actually have trophies around the house of all the things we've won.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
I'm glad we let you go last because I don't know how to top.
I know,
top
Lee.
that.
My
what do
mom
you
loves
do?
a good trophy.
I've got nothing on that. We watch Christmas movies and we buy ornaments. This is like my family does like an ornament that represents your year every year. So like
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, so it's like I have like an ornament for every year and like, they're always something that kind of like represents like something big that happened in that year of your life and stuff. And some of them are like you know, you get kind of like short on ideas at some point. And then some of them are really funny because like the year Kelsey and I, Kelsey's my wife, and the year we started dating, like my parents got me an elf that says Kelsey on it. And I was like, wow, that's,
I mean, that was your year, I guess.
You know, it was, but I was like, what if we break up though? Like now I'm stuck with like with an elf with my ex-girlfriend's name on it for like the rest of my life. Like that's my year. So I guess it worked out that she's still around. But yeah, I do kind of have to laugh about some of the years that we've had our ornaments get a little, you're kind of reaching. I'm like, nothing else happened to me of interest that year, I guess. But there you go.
Exciting year.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it was momentous if you think about it. It was a big year. It was just a funny choice on their part. So we wanted to talk about, so for anyone who has not seen Season of Love, although it is now available and you should go check it out immediately, we wanted to talk a little bit about something related to Emily, your character's story. So can you give us like a quick overview of Iris's storyline in Season of Love?
Sure. So we meet Iris, you know, getting ready for what she thinks is going to be the happiest day of her life, her wedding day, to a man. And it turns out he leaves her at the altar, and she's completely devastated. And his sister, the best woman, who was going to stay at their house while they were on their honeymoon, and they're just kind of like staying at their house. So now they are in this place trapped together. So her fiance's sister, Mardu, ends up taking care of her, and sparks fly.
Do they ever? So what we loved about this is, you know, there's the whole kind of collection of wisdom about love sort of finding you when you least expect it or when you're not looking for it, you know? And I think that's a pretty decent part of Iris's storyline. You know, getting left at the altar is probably a time in your life where you're not looking for love anywhere else.
Yeah, totally. I was talking about this the other day. Iris can be herself in front of Mardu in a way that she is not able to be in front of anyone else, because she doesn't see Mardu as a threat in any way, or Mardu isn't a blip on her radar. And so she has the space for the first time in her life to look at herself and find out who she is. And Mardu really just meets her where she is. And although Mardu has preconceived notions of Iris, Mardu is really open-minded and allows Iris to feel safe and seen. And that kind of, it's the most romantic thing in my opinion. You know, it's not like they bump into each other in a rainstorm and it's New York and they have to share an umbrella. It's not a traditional meet cute, but it's really beautiful to me because it's purer and realer than that.
Yeah, when I was watching the movie, especially like the chemistry between Iris and Mardu was like so palpable. And they're one of my favorite storylines of the three main love interests. Because yeah, like you said, it's like so unexpected and it just feels very easy. In a way that it was such an interesting storyline that we've not seen before. I also thought it was really cool. I'm sure you all know, in a lot of lesbian movies, there's this trope of a straight girl, like, who leaves her boyfriend or husband because she falls in love with a lesbian, right? And, like, you made it very clear that Iris's character is bisexual. Yeah, no, I think it's really important that it's not like, oh, the same story of this is a straight girl who finds herself through this queer character. She already knew she was bisexual, and then their love story just exists. So I thought that was a really great choice that I guess the writer made, and maybe if you could speak to that.
Actually, that's where you're wrong.
The secrets come out.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
Yeah,
Go
tell
ahead,
us
Emily.
how that came
Okay,
about.
well, gosh. I'm a bisexual woman, and I was reading this script, and I've been in relationships with men, and when you're in a relationship with a man, people assume you're straight. It was really important to me that we name what was going on with Iris. So Christin and I worked together to make the recognition scene specific and clearer. And like Theo always knew this about Iris, and Iris knew this about Iris. So it's really empowering, and it's such a great twist, as you were saying, on the trope of actually the only person who doesn't know is Mardu. She was assuming that Iris was straight, but turns out she was wrong.
I love you saying that Theo knew. Do you think he was specifically keeping it from his, very attractive, very gay sister?
I think we can presume all we want to about that.
Yeah. Emily was
That's
very.
awesome.
Here's the great thing about working with Emily, and I've had the pleasure of doing a movie and three readings with Emily, and like normally she waits like a couple of days and then sort of like sends an email that's like, maybe I have a few thoughts about this thing that I read, and you might want to think about this, and gives fantastic feedback on a script, like just wonderful, wonderful notes. And so with Season of Love, she was like, I think this is really important. Like she was just really like, and you can look at it, you can go, well, it's great that it's not said and it's not really talked about, but Emily was like, no, this, you have to call this out. And so we wrote it in. I think I sent it to you and I was like, how's this?
Yeah, you did. And then it ended up being perfect. On the day we shot that scene, we were still working with lines and trying things out to get it where it needed to be.
I think it landed on the right line. It's a great moment.
It was so great. And also just like the excitement of Martu, of the surprise and excitement of like, oh shit, she's bisexual. Yes.
Amazing.
Like so great.
You know what else I love about that though, is that I don't know if it had occurred to me until just now, but part of the whole way that all of these characters' stories are connected is you have Iris's wedding and the two bridesmaids, right? And so those become like the other storylines that we're watching. Of course, when you have two lesbian bridesmaids, like you're also some variety of queer, because we all travel in packs, as we all know.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that, what it said about Iris, that Lou was her best friend, because they're not maybe a pair that you would think to put together. But something with Iris's character is like, people say a lot of things about her and they may or may not be accurate. So there's a lot of like reading between the lines and who is she really? And the audience kind of figures that out as they go.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/leshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/leshangout.
Let's hang out.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
What is it that you think is the best thing about that storyline that Iris has of kind of like tripping into love, you know, when you're not really expecting to find it?
For me, I found the most joy in messying it up. You know, I'm quite a ridiculous person in many ways. And, you know, Iris, again, people say that she's the perfect woman. Oh my gosh, she's like the perfect woman, you guys, like clearly. You know, so obvious. But, you know, so for me, it was adding a lot of like ridiculous imperfections. I found such joy in that, you know, like, some people can think she's the perfect woman, but really she's a complete doofus. And especially when she starts to develop feelings for Mardu, like more of that comes out. And that was such a fun arc from perfection to doofus.
Oh my God, can we get that on a shirt? From perfection to doofus. We talk about a lot of things from a perspective of, here are all the things that straight media has always had that we don't get to have, right? But there's also some like really great moments in that. So what are some of your favorite love stories on screen that have also had that falling into love unexpectedly play out?
Are you asking like specifically like for straight movies?
Doesn't have to be
yeah,
straight.
or even other like queer films. Like, why is it so compelling to us to see that play out on screen?
It sounds like you have one in mind, Christin.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first one that came to mind is like Imagine Me and You, which for me is such a great fun. I mean, I think it can be also slightly problematic, but for the longest time, it was sort of like the only one that we had. And, you know, the kind of that theme running through it is, you know, that moment when your eyes lock with someone. And then what does that mean? Is it love at first sight, or is it, you know, this like more like, oh, we were best friends and then we fell in love? And of course, like we want it to be like you look across the room at your wedding and to see that person who's for you. But yeah.
You hope that person is the one at the altar as well.
Right. Yeah. So, and yeah, so that's when that like it kind of immediately comes to mind for me. And it's funny because I was just on a plane where it was on, you know, in the movie section. And I was like, I'm just going to take another, like, just watch this again. It had been a little while since I had seen it. And you really can see moments where Kat took inspiration from Imagine Me and You, you know, but I think the thing that, and Danielle, you know, you can kind of speak to this as well. The ending originally of Season of Love it ended on Theo. I don't think you know this, Emily. It ended on Theo at the New Year's Eve party. And he sort of like toast to the camera and then it was fade out. And I think Danielle and Ashley, we were all like, why is this ending on Theo?
Why is it a guy again?
But if you go back and you watch Imagine Me and You, it ends on Heck. And it ends on Heck getting on an airplane, traveling, sitting next to a cute girl who's also traveling, and he turns to the camera and he winks. And it was almost like, hey, straight people, don't worry, the guy ends up okay. And right, Dan? Didn't we sort of were like, what is this? And
we definitely were. We were like, this is a film that's so focused on queer women. Finally, why would we not end on them? Why would we go back to a straight dude? Yeah, definitely a long conversation.
I think the more important question after that story, though, is you found Imagine Me and You on a plane? What were you flying?
It's on Delta right now.
Wow.
Yep, I nearly watched it too.
That's big. It's a big moment for us when we're in the skies.
That I don't think I've ever seen. Like, it's hard to find to watch it even.
Yeah. I had to search.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was funny because I think they had Imagine Me and You and Love Actually on Delta right now. It's like, that's funny.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because both of them open up on a wedding.
Well, and you know what else I'm realizing too is both of them open up on a wedding, and both of them open up with pretty soon having that scene of the two romantic leads like having this like sustained eye contact moment with each other. I mean, it's obviously it's a little different in Season of Love, the circumstances of that. But yeah, I could see the parallels, you know, if you go looking for them.
Oh yeah. It's definitely like a mash between those two for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's, you know, that we actually slowed down that hand grab in the edit, and then it just looked a little off. Because that hand grab in the edit is the look across the way from Imagine Me and You. I mean, so there's definitely homages in there.
I definitely thought, like, when I first started watching that Mardu was the groom, or like when they're just staring at each other, I was like, are they getting married? Oh, they're getting married. And then I was like, oh, no, I don't think so.
That'll be the sequel. There you go. We'll do that as the sequel.
We got the
same suit.
We got the suit.
Just, the suit looked great, so I'm
great
all for
suit.
it. Have you ever had that happen? Has love snuck up on any of you three when you weren't expecting it?
Or we're all the queer people who fall in love with their best friend trope. Is that what we are?
I mean, I found my girlfriend on OkCupid, which I don't think is super interesting. I mean, it's a relatively common.
Is that the opposite of not looking for it?
Probably, right?
Looking for
Probably.
It. Yeah.
I worked really hard and swiped and answered all the questions. We were an 84% match.
Ooh, that's big.
Wow.
It's pretty solid.
I've had that happen to me, but do we care? I don't know.
I want to hear it, Ellie. I want to hear it.
Tell us about
like,
your
do we want to hear about
love
it?
Story.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be cheesy, but I guess we're talking about holiday rom-coms, so whatever. I was like, I'm going to be single. I love being single. Let me be single forever. And then I went out to this party, and it was like a queer party, so like everyone there were gay women. And I met one of my a friend of a friend, and I cannot really explain to you. I mean, I'm just going to explain to you like love at first sight, I guess, which is so cheesy.
Paint us a rom-com picture.
So, I don't know, like, I met her. The first thing that I said to her, I think, was, I was like, oh, this is your first, like, lesbian event? Because it was, like, one of the first ones she's been to. And I was like, I'm basically a professional lesbian. And I was like, Ellie, what? Why would you say that to her? But I don't know. There was, like, there was just something about, there were just sparks there immediately. And I couldn't really explain it. This is also my current girlfriend. So, like, happy ending.
Gosh.
Like, I could not explain it. And then from her perspective, it was like I followed her around all night and she was like, hey. And then it wasn't that unexpected because, like, made it happen and, like, asked her out on a date and everything. But I think, like, the steps from, like, that first meeting and then, like, continuing to talk, we both were like, we love being single. Like, we want to stay single. Like, we just, like, enjoy having our own space. And, like, the more we hung out together, we were like, we can't stop being with each other. So, like, let's just do this.
Yeah, as someone who was on the outside of that situation at the time, you were not looking for anything serious.
I really was not.
You both kind of tried to pretend that it wasn't going to turn into what it did.
Yes. And it did. So I think, what is it, like 2 years later, we're still together.
Oh, man.
So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
You've never tripped into love, Emily, Danielle? No,
I
not
don't
at
think
all?
so. I feel like I either am actively pursuing what I want and have an idea of what I'm looking for and then go find it. I also am not a very romantic person in my life. I love enjoying romantic novels and movies and stories. But that's where I like to keep romance. And then in my life, I like things easy and sense-making.
Was it like a fun escape to get to be like the lead in a rom-com then?
So much so. Yes. Totally.
That's so funny.
I feel like I'm like the hopeless romantic. So I feel like I'm like, it was so unexpected, but also like I love love. So isn't that unexpected? But
Danielle, what about you? No surprise love?
Well, no, my current partner, I'd say, was surprise love. Neither of us were looking for that either. And that was by accident.
Tell us
we're
the
engaged.
story.
So,
Oh, congrats.
Surprise engagement.
Yeah, well, Ashley and I actually met when we started running Klexicon. So, like 3.5 years ago now. And yeah, we just hit it off right away unexpectedly. And here we are. Not much of a storyteller, but it was definitely unexpected at the time.
I did.
It's okay. We'll invent our
There
own,
you go.
okay? You were saving a litter of kittens from a fire, and she just happened to be walking down the street carrying a bunch of books, and the books caught on fire, and you saved her from the fire.
Yeah, you all write
There
the
you
stories.
I did.
Great.
I did end up buying someone at a bachelorette auction, and we did end up getting married, although we are now divorced.
But the first half of that would be an amazing story, I bet.
That's amazing.
Yeah. $70.
$70.
Best $70 you ever
70.
spent, or
No.
worst? Well, yeah.
At the time.
We're not together anymore. So. Yeah.
Love is interesting. I love love. Love is interesting. Love is great.
I think it's why Iris's storyline is just such a great rom-com story, you know? It's like that idea of just finding love in an unexpected place or an unexpected time or an unexpected person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or all of those.
Yeah. Totally.
All of those together. I think it's a great story, and it isn't one. I mean, you know, as we're saying, we don't really have queer rom-coms in general, especially like holiday ones. It's such a fun story to get to see kind of like the queered version of it. And I also love, I mean, we talk a lot when we do, you know, movies that should have been gay. We talk endlessly about the just ubiquitous trope of having two characters who have all the chemistry and then sort of just tossing like, and then here's her brother to play the romantic opposite, you know? Like, he's basically her, but is a guy. So you can fall in love with him, even though, like, obviously it's the two girls that should be together.
Right.
So there's also something a lot of fun to having that kind of flipped on its head as well.
Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely.
So what's next for Season of Love?
It's out. People can watch it.
Where can people see it? How can they watch it?
Yeah, so if you go to the website seasonoflovemovie.com, you can, like, all the information's there. You can see the trailer and you can see the cast. You can see behind the scenes photos. You can see all of our screenings. We have 6 screenings in various cities across the country that will still be, if you are listening to this December 2nd, you can still go to Toronto on December 3rd. You can rent or buy it if you go to telofilms.com and scroll down. But you can also, like I said, go to seasonoflovemovie.com and there's a buy button on there. And so you will be able to buy or rent it and watch it on your smart devices or TV.
Exciting. We will watch it again and again. It's going to be added into my holiday movie rotation.
That's our hope. That's our hope.
Yes. I think it's timely for our Q and Gay.
Oh, good. It's our favorite time.
Let's do this.
Q and Gay. So, question 1. We'll start with Christin and then I guess Danielle and Emily. So, what is your favorite holiday movie out of the following choices? There's only 4 because Twitter polls are limited. So, White Christmas, Love Actually, Elf, and Christmas Carol.
Is it the Muppets version of the Christmas Carol? Like, which Christmas Carol are we talking about?
It can definitely be Muppets. That's a great one.
You can specify if you want. We haven't specified
Okay.
it.
I do love the Muppets Christmas Carol, but I'm gonna go with Love Actually.
I'm gonna go with Love Actually too.
Me too. Me 3. Love Actually.
There you go.
Sweet.
Nice and simple.
All right, number 2. Do you wish we had more queer holiday rom-coms? A, yes, or B, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Question 3. Has love ever surprised you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Number 4, which is my favorite one, and if there are any stories, we need them.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
We'll
ever
need
had a
details.
crush on your significant other's sibling? Yes or no?
No.
They're like slowly.
No.
I know, just
going in order.
awkward, uncomfortable pause.
No, I was really trying to think about it. No.
No.
What about your sibling's significant other? I feel like we should give people the option for both ways. Right?
That's more likely,
that could-
actually.
That could get messy.
But still no.
It's a boy, so no.
Yeah, I know. We'll put
Okay.
that in Buy Hard, though.
Yes, buy hard. Okay. What's the most romantic holiday activity out of the following choices? A, drinking hot chocolate in front of the fire. B, ice skating. C, decorating the tree together. Or D, snowball fight.
I'm gonna say hot cocoa and fire.
Yeah, me too. Hot chocolate. Fire.
I'm going to say ice skating.
I feel like every time I ice skate, I fall on my ass. So I don't know about that for me.
But then again, for me, it's all about the anti-romance. It's all about what is real and true and human. And when you fall on your ass in front of someone, you really connect in a way that is, to me, very truly, deeply romantic.
I thought you were going to say, like, a fireplace is too much pressure. It's like too much romance. It's too real.
I'll remember, falling on my ass is always endearing. We're good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Remember, you can give us your own answers to this episode's Q and Gay questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
This might be a lengthier question in this case, but where can our listeners find all of you and find Tello and find Season of Love on all the social medias?
Yeah, Tello's really easy. We're just Tello Films on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. I am on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Christin, Christin, Tello.
Personally, I'm not really on social media very much. So just look up Telefilms or Klexicon, and I'm behind those somewhere.
I'm Emily Goss 650 on Instagram and Twitter.
Are there any projects coming up besides Season of Love that you'd like to tell our listeners about?
Yeah, Dan, do we want to talk about I Hate New Year's?
Our next project is going to be one of the music-heavy ones we mentioned.
It's called I Hate New Year's, and it takes place all in New Year's Eve. So it's like one day, and follows the singer who moved. So we're shooting it in Nashville. She moves away from Nashville, and she's like lost her like songwriting mojo, and so she comes back to Nashville, and she's gone to see a psychic to try and like figure out why she's, blocked. And the psychic's like, oh, there's like someone with a C is like, you need to make amends. And so she thinks it's her ex-girlfriend who she sort of dropped to go to Nashville, but really it's not. And so I won't spoil too much, but it's
intrigue.
It's like a buddy kind of deal where she, like her best friend that she's hanging out with all New Year's Eve, trying to help her find her ex-girlfriend. So it kind of takes them all over town, all over Nashville. And then since they're, music people, like they sing different songs as they go about the city.
There's going to be some really amazing music in that. We're super excited.
That sounds
Very
awesome.
cool.
And we haven't really talked about the music in Season of Love, but there's also great music in Season of Love with Dom.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited about.
Emily, anything else coming up that you want to let people know about?
Sure. I guess next May, right now, we're thinking, right, Kristen? A feature called Storyville will start production, and Storyville is based on the actual events and madams of the legal red lights district in New Orleans, set in 1917, or New Orleans, I guess, the real people say, the people who are in the know. Yeah, so it's the madams of these houses have to band together to defend their right to work. So it's a lot of sexy, powerful women. Yeah, it's really cool.
Are you filming in New Orleans?
No, we'll do it in LA. I know. Hopefully.
Well, if you haven't been, Ellie and I both just went for the first time for a queer women's weekend retreat called the Weekend Soiree, and it was amazing. What a great city.
Awesome.
Also, we are going to be having an Instagram story takeover with Christin from the Toronto screening of Season of Love. So keep an eye out for details on that to come.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And check out Season of Love if you haven't already.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from you, and we love building this community, so we just like to take the opportunity every week to shout out some of our favorite things that have been happening lately. And this week, maybe it's, the leftover vibes from Thanksgiving last week. We're just feeling extra happy and grateful and thankful for all of our listeners. This week, we especially want to shout out someone on Instagram. I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly, Amelia. Amelia reached out to us on Instagram from Germany, all the way from Germany, which is just amazing, and just had the nicest things to say about how grateful she is for the podcast, and it made Ellie cry. Of course it made Ellie cry. What doesn't make Ellie cry? So we just wanted to say, Amelia, thank you so much for reaching out, and apologies for my terrible German. Vielen Dank, Amelia. Wir sind überdankbar für dich. Speaking of people that we are thankful for, we also are so thankful, as always, for all of our patrons, and especially our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Lizette Stye, Tanya Ferguson, Jess Klaus, Danny Griswold, Michelle Ray Thomas, Sarah and Julia, Nicole Gross, Carrie Ann Lawrence, Mark Foster, Danny Gunluck Tamora, Sammy Walsh, Audrey O'Connor, and Wendy K. Bartlett, and our King Princess patrons, Kayla Kelly, and Amy and Ellen. We could not continue doing this podcast without all of our patrons' support, so thank you to all of you for making this possible. Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com. We do now have a calendar, so you can find all of our events coming up.
Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also are still putting videos up on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch those.
And the best and easiest way to support the podcast is to rate and review us on iTunes. It helps other people find the podcast, and we love hearing what you think.
If you want to support us financially, you can join our Patreon page at bit.ly/lespatreon. We have all sorts of fun perks. You get ad-free episodes. You can join us for watch parties for lesbian movies or shows. It's a ton of fun. We love our patrons so much, and it is probably the biggest thing in terms of us being able to do all the stuff that we do for the podcast.
And if you want some Les Hangout merch, it is holiday gay season. So get to our shop at bit.ly/lesshop. Buy a sweater for your favorite gay. Buy a sweater for your favorite gay who is yourself. I don't care, any gays, just get in our sweaters at bit.ly/lesshop.
If you want to follow us individually, the best place to find me is on Twitter and Instagram at LSHFoster.
And if you want to find me, you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at EllieBrigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.